people, you are welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are great. Thank you for stopping by here on this channel. This is what we are going to be making today. This beautiful top and pencil skirt. So this is what we are going to be making today. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and then turn on the notification bell to get an update anytime I upload my videos. So 16 inches is the half length we are working with. Then I'm going to add 1.5 to this 16 inches. Then I will be having 17.5 for joining allowance of upper part and down part. So I want to use 6 inches for the yoke. Then I'm placing my 6 inches on the marginal line. And you could go lower than that if you so wish. So 6 inches is perfect by me for today's tutorial. Then I'm going to get the remaining points. I have 10 inches for the bust points, that is the measurement from the shoulder to the nipple. Then I have 13.5 for the under bust. So this is what I'm marking. I told you 16 inches is the half length, then I added 1.5 for joining of upper part and down part. So that makes it 17.5. Then I'm going to extend the line. I've done this, so I've extended the lines. Then I'm going to place the darts because I want to create the darts. So I'm placing 4 inches, which is the nipple to nipple we are using for today's tutorial. So I'll be marking this 4 inches to the waistline. 4 inches. So I'm marking it here on my waistline. Then I'm going to connect these dots together with my ruler. So I'm placing my ruler to do this. Four inches. I hope you saw this. Okay. Then I want to create the dots. So I'll be marking 1 inch from this side, from the center front side. Then from the center side, I'll be marking 1.5. And this is what I'm marking. So from the bust point, I'm going up 0.5 and then I'm coming down 0.5 to create the dots. So I'll go ahead and connect this dots to 0.5 below the bust point. So this is what I'm placing my curve ruler to do. 0.5 from the bust point. I'm connecting it to 1.5 at the center side and 1 inch from the center front. Then I'm going to draw a straight line for both dots. I hope you saw what I drew. Then I'm going to take 0.5 from the both sides from that part, and you could do 1 inch, but 0.5 is fine by me. Then I'm going to connect this 0.5 to 0.5 I marked above the bust point. So I'm using my ruler to do this. I hope you saw this. Then I'm going to blend 0.5 from I marked below the bust point and above the bust point, so that I don't have sharp . So I'm placing the bust measurement, which is 37 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.25. That's 9 1/4. And then I'm going to add 1 inch for that I took, then my joining allowance. And then I'm extending that measurement to the bust point. Here on my underbust, the quarter of my underbust and then 2.5 I used to create the dart. I'm going to include it, then the joining allowance as well. Waist measured 32 inches divided by 4 is giving me 8 inches. Then I took 2.5 for that. Then I'm adding my joining allowance as well. So I'll go ahead and connect these dots together. I'm placing my ruler to do this. I hope you saw it. So I'll go ahead and cut, and then I'm going to cut the yoke. This yoke, I want to cut this yoke together with the down parts. Okay, so I told you we have 6 inches for the yoke. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for joining allowance of upper parts and down parts. So that's why I'm marking 7 inches. And then I'm going to cut these 7 inches. And then I'm going to place it on the down parts to bring the shape of armhole out. So this is a yoke. So I placed it on the fabric, and then what I'm going to do is to just measure the back measurement, which is 7.5. So I have 7.5 for the back measurement. I measured it. Then I want to create the armhole. And the armhole measurement for today's tutorial is 7.8. And this is what I'm marking. 7.8 is the armhole measurement for today's tutorial. I hope you saw this. And then I want to curve my armhole this way. The chalk is not really showing because of the texture of the material we are using for the yoke. Pardon me for this. So I'm connecting the curve. So having done this, I want to create the neckline. So I chose 3.5 for the wideness of my neck, and then I'm going to mark 4.5 for the depth of my neck. And I'm going to create the neckline I want. You can create your desired neckline. Okay? So this is what I have. So I'll go ahead and cut. I'm cutting them together this way. So this method is very, very simple. So I've created the armhole, as you can see. So here is the neck line, and then I want to cut the darts. So I'm cutting the darts right here. So guys, this is what we have for the front, bodice, and the yoke. This is what we have. So I will go ahead and join the yoke and the Ankara, the front bodice together like this. So I will go ahead and cut the 720-degree peplum like I said. So I have similar tutorial on this channel. Here on my channel I have tutorial on 720-degree peplum. You can check it. Okay. So the waist measurement is 32 inches. Divided by 2 is going to give me 16 inches. Then I'm going to use formula for this 720-degree I want to cut. Like I will divide this 16 inches by 6.28 and then it's going to give me 2.5. So this 2.5, I'm going to add some inches to it. So I'm going to add 1.5 to 2.5. So this is going to give me 4 inches. So 4 inches is the radius I will be using for today's tutorial. So you are going to fold your material into two this way. Fold your material into two like so. So I'm trying to fold it into two properly. I want it to lay properly into two this way. And then this is into 4. Please measure the length you want to use for your peplum before you fold it. So this is into 4. I hope you saw what I'm doing. I folded it into 2 and now it's into 4. So I have similar tutorial like I said. You can check this channel for better understanding. And then I'm folding it again to complete 720-degree I want. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have like 8 folds. So I'm still folding it. So I saw this. Now I told you we are going to use 4 inches for the radius, and this is what I'm going to be marking. So I'll be marking 4 inches. So I have 23 inches for the length of the top we are making. Then 23 minus 16 is the length I want to cut. Then I'm going to add 1.5 for joining allowance. I'm still going to use lining to turn it. So I want to first mark my 4 inches. So I'll be marking my 4 inches like so. So I want to mark it around the point. Then I'm going to link these dots together this way. I hope you saw this. And then I'm placing my 16 inches, which is the half length, on the radius I marked. Then I'm going to mark on the point of 23 plus joining allowance. So I'm going to add joining allowance 1.5. So this is what I will be marking. I'm marking 24.5 instead of me to mark 23 inches. So this is 24.5 I'm marking. I'm marking 24.5. And I will mark it round. I'm marking it round to the other side. 24.5. Then I'm going to link these dots together. This is what I'm marking. I'm linking the dots together. then I'm good to cut. I hope you saw this. So this is down part, the skirt part. So the waist measure 32, still have 32 inches for the waist. Then I will be placing quarter of 32 inches. I want to mark the marginal line. So this line I'm marking is very compulsory. So it's going to guide me to get the necessary measurements. So I'm placing the half of the, quarter of my waist measurement at that point. And then from that point, I'll be adding joining allowance. So I added my seam allowance. Then from that point, I'm going down to get the hip point. So 8 inches is good for my hip. So I want to mark the length of the skirt. So the length of the skirt. So this is what I want to mark. I'm marking 25 inches for the length of the skirt. Then I'm going to add joining allowance for upper part and down part because I'm going to use lining to turn it. So this is what I'll be doing. So I added 2 inches because I'm using my lining to turn it over. So I want to be sure, maybe it's 27 inches. Then the hip measurement is 44 inches divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I'm placing this 11 inches and then I'm going to mark it. Then I'm adding the seam allowance. And then I'm going to place my tape measure to measure what I have for my hip measurement and move it to the down part of the skirt we are cutting. So I'm going to remove 1.5 from what I'm having for the hip measurement. And you could remove 2 inches depending on how fitted you want your skirt to be. So 1.5 is fine by me. Then I'm going to connect waist measurement to my hip and hip to the length of the skirt we are making. So this is what I'm placing my ruler to do. And then I'm going to use my chalk to connect this together. So I'm going to down part. So I'm going to use my straight ruler. Okay. So I'm good to cut. So I'll go ahead and cut this front panel and place it to cut the back panel. Okay. So guys, I'm cutting the skirt right here. So I'm going to place this to cut the back panel. Thank you for being there, guys. These are back panel. So I have 7.5 for the back measurement. Then I went down 0.5 for shoulder slanting. Then I marked my armhole. Then I'm going to place my ruler to connect this armhole to the shoulder slope. I hope you saw this. So we have 16 inches for the half length, and then I'm going to add joining allowance 1.5 like I added to the front panel. Then 4 inches is nipple to nipple, as you all know. So I mark the zipper allowance. Then I'm marking 4 inches from the line of our zipper. Then 4 inches. Then I'm going to measure 9 inches because that is going to end at that point. So this back panel. So on this point of 9 inches, I'm measuring 4 inches, and then I'm going to link them together to create the dart. Then I'm going to take 0.5 from the both sides to create the back dart. And then I'm linking it to the 9 inches I measured initially. So this is what I'm marking here. I hope you saw the dart. So I want to place the bust measurement. And the measurement starts from the zipper line, 9.25 in joining allowance. The waistline, 32 inches divided by 4, plus 1 inch for that we took, then joining allowance. Then I'm going to link it together. I'm linking the dots together. I forgot to curve my hammer. So this is what I want to do. This is back armhole. There's no need of coming out 0.5 or 3/4. So this is what you are going to have. Then I'm placing my ruler to connect the dots together this way. And then I want to create the neckline. So we still have 3.5 for the wideness of our neck. Then I'm going to choose 6 inches for the neck depth for the back panel. So this is what I'm marking, like so. And then I want to place my ruler to connect it together. So I hope you saw everything I've done. So I'm going to cut and I'll come and show you. So guys, this is our upper bodice. So I use my pin to hold it down. This is aligning the yoke. So I already cut the wording. Okay. So this is main fabric. I hope you saw this. So this is wording I cut. So I'm going to sew like that. Then I notch the 3, main fabric, lining and yoke, so that it's going to guide me. Okay. So this is our back panel. So I also cut lining, and then I'm showing you the back panel. This is how it looks like. And this is a 720-degree peplum. So I use my iron to glue my interfacing on it, and this is a skirt part. So I've turned the skirt. Okay. So okay guys, this is joining section. Then I want to start joining with 0.5 I told you earlier. We have 0.5 for joining of upper parts and down parts of the upper bodies. So this is what I'm using. .5. So this is what I'm doing here. All right, guys, I've joined upper part and down part together. This is what I have. I'm sure you like it. And we still have 7 inches for nipple to nipple intact. So I want to confirm the nipple to nipple. So we still have 7 inches. I'm sure you like this top and the skirts also. So I'll go ahead and join the sleeve. So this is what I will be doing. The 2 sleeves and the zip. And I will come and show you how it looks like. So far so good, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. This is very, very beautiful and gorgeous. I'm sure you like this style. I'm sure you like the way I'm wearing it. This is very, very perfect. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Tell a friend to like this video. Tell them to share and subscribe. And turn on the notification bell to get you an update as I will be uploading my new videos. And I will see you in my next tutorial. Thank you.